So I know you are looking at the title and thinking, why is she trying to speed up time? But there is a very good reason why I am still in my 30s and already looking toward 50. And I think it will be worthwhile for you to hear why. So come in, come, get cozy, grab a drink, get a snack so we can chat. All right, so there is this movie that came out in my 20s called This Is 40. It's about a husband and wife who are both turning 40, but the wife is like having some serious angst about the whole thing.
You want to get a massage or do something fun? It's a bit, 40's huge.
I'm turning 38.
She basically wanted to pretend like it wasn't happening, which was sort of how I acted when I was turning 30.
Isn't it weird that our birthday is the same week and then we're gonna have a party and it's just for me?
No, I don't think it's weird at all. Because you're turning 40 and I'm turning 38.
I was very sad and depressed for reasons that don't even make sense today. In fact, I actually wish I hadn't been so crazy about it.
I'm not ready yet. I need 2 more years.
That is so insane, it kind of makes sense.
Thankfully though, by God's grace, I mustered the strength to attend my birthday dinner with my family because my aunt who was at that dinner, she later passed. So I was glad to have spent that time with her and get some wisdom from her about aging, which she told me not to be upset about turning 30. She told me, Levon, it is a privilege to age, and that just hits differently now that she's gone, at least on this side of eternity anyways. But with that wisdom and love from her that I still hold dear, no matter what is going on, and no matter how many benchmarks I haven't yet reached, despite it all, I celebrate the moment, and you should too.
What is that?
It is your birthday period. Statement of fact.
And actually, I am really excited to be in my about to be 40s because year 40, it's my twofold year. It's the crossover stage, the out of the wilderness and into my promised land era, because I'm a millennial. So of course I label each year with some specific reference from the Bible or pop culture. Like, come on. Like, who do you think started the Jordan year? Or the Jesus year? So yeah, 40 is the out of the wilderness year and into wide open spaces. The hills are alive. And 42 is coming too. That's the major leagues year. And 50 is our Jubilee year. Which year 50 is why we're even here today, to talk about why I started looking toward 50 before even turning 40.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good, I can tell.
So it all started when I began to have some angst and trepidation about approaching 40, which you get. It was strange because, like I just mentioned, I was thankful for the privilege to age and to be entering that promised land era. Like, come on. So because of this mix of emotions in where I was happy but felt anxious as I did when I was approaching 30. And I'm gonna be 40!
When?
Someday. I realized I needed to do some soul work. And what I discovered was that the reason I had been feeling some angst and trepidation about approaching 40, even though I was grateful and excited. It was because it felt like 40 was something coming toward me, just as the other decades had felt. Like when I approached 30, it felt like there was like a door of 30 that was slowly and steadily coming toward me, and I had no choice but to open it and enter it. But since I had become aware, something would have to change, and so I made a change. I stopped seeing 40 as a door that was going to just show up for me to enter in, and then linger in while waiting for the next door of 50 to show up. Because I realized that this next decade and every decade that God blesses us with are not seasons we show up to, but they're seasons that we walk through. And this is why, although I'm still in my 30s, I'm looking to 50.
What did you get me for my birthday?
Wait a minute, I thought you said that we shouldn't get each other gifts this year.
What do you mean? You're supposed to give me a surprise gift. This is a big birthday. I'm turning 40.
And now I know. It may seem like a simple switch or a simple mindset shift to make, but so like when you think of how one switch can turn on an entire factory and power it to produce something great, I don't think you should just look past this as a really fun mindset to grab. It is so much more, because with this shift in thinking, you get something
40 years in the Army never taught me perspective.
And with that new perspective, you learn how to move better, which was something I desperately needed, because even though I have always set my 5 and 10-year goals, I didn't really have the right mindset to best navigate that stretch of time.
Think about it. If you travel to the past, that past becomes your future.
Exactly.
And so what I mean by this is that when I was setting long-term goals, deep down, I had a desire to reach things as soon as possible. But setting a long-term goal and moving with the mindset of as soon as possible is creating a recipe for disaster. Like Amos 3:3 says, can two walk unless they be agreed? So because I wasn't being honest with myself, every time I sat down to work on something, I couldn't, because I felt like I was in a rush when I really wasn't.
My mind is going a mile an hour. That fast.
Yet with this new perspective on how to move better, when I set decade-long goals, I no longer feel like I'm in a rush. I feel like I'm on the journey I'm supposed to be on. When I'm writing, I give myself space and time to write and imagine. When I'm socializing, I am present and in the moment. I get more done and I feel more fulfilled. And I'm at peace with what I do accomplish, knowing it's just a benchmark, which is okay. But I want to be clear about this. Changing how I moved was not about me discovering the gift of slowing down. What I got from this new perspective was how to approach my future with a better pace, which wasn't about moving fast or slow. You see, on the flip side, I also had to take a step forward and zoom in on areas that needed me to pick up the pace. And one of the things the Lord told me to pick up the pace on and be more diligent about is getting my planner completed and ready to launch in this fall of 2026. I considered waiting until next year, but God said, do it now.
Do it now.
I think one of the main reasons for him encouraging me to complete it now is because it's a format that really helped me starting in like my late teens and has carried me all the way through to like my mid 30s. And I still use it now, but since the tools I created and crafted all came through at an earlier stage of my life, it means that right now, I still have like a pretty great memory of why each concept or page is needed. Yet as time goes, I may not be able to relate to the younger me the same way I do now.
How old are you? 38.
And thus, if I wait too long to get it done, then I may overlook parts that really matter to a younger me.
I wish you were my age.
And also to younger women who are in that stage of their life right now, which is most likely the actual main reason the Lord is encouraging me to relaunch my planner with the goal mapping tool this fall. I'm sure there are specific women who will benefit from it like right away. And speaking about this planner, it will be available for pre-order this fall of 2026. And you can go to my website and find out more about the goal mapping guide and how to get on the wait list. So you can be one of the first people to get your hands on a copy. So yeah, I am so grateful that this new perspective helped me to move better. And another thing this new perspective of walking into 40 but looking at 50 gave me was a better awareness of things.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice.
But before I get there, one awareness I have is of you. So how are you doing? I hope you're doing well and have been blessed so far, be it your first time on this channel or if you are a friend. I just want you to know that God loves you and He does want the best for you, like so much is possible for you. So I pray that you get what you came for and Yeah. Let's keep going. And talking about awareness. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. So my 30s, like many others, it started with a bang.
Coronavirus and what the president said just moments ago.
The pandemic happened and I didn't know how to properly recalibrate to get from where I was to where I was going. For the first time, my goal mapping tools were not working the way it was supposed to. Like,
it's not even giving what y'all said it was supposed to give.
Like, every time I thought I had it all figured out, something else would happen. And I dealt with a job loss, a loss of a dream, a potential-ish husband. I felt like right when I was about to catch my breath, another thing popped up. But when I adjusted my mindset to walk through 30 and to embrace it as I approached 40 while looking toward 50, I got an even better insight on where I was and how close or far I was to my dreams. Also, I could assess what season I was in and which ones that were coming next.
What's the matter? Scared of a little lightning? I'm not overly fond of what follows.
So when Jesus gives us guidance on how to be aware of the signs of the beginning of the end times, he explains to us that he is telling us these things so that those days do not catch us off guard. And when I think about that, I think about all the other seasons the Lord has shown us, like the wilderness chapter, the silent period, the crossover stage, or the season of plenty. And knowing spiritual seasons matters more than we think, because the seasons that God has us in are ordained seasons before we were ever born. His word says, "All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Understanding this and having a better outlook of a decade rather than just a year, it means that I can embrace tough seasons and I can see myself getting through them and coming out stronger on the other side. And it's important to understand we go through seasons, not over them, and we don't run away from them. Psalms 23:4 says, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." And Isaiah 43:2 says, "When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze." I mean, recently, even through this awareness, I developed a peace and patience that made people think I had given up trying to get out of a tough season that I was in, because they could not understand that I understood it was a season that was not meant to break me. It was a season that God had specifically made to build me up and in Him. So I refused to turn back from it because I knew that the only way out of it was to walk through it.
Oh, hey, ma'am, one more thing?
Yes.
When you come to this trench, swim through it, not over it.
Trench, through it, not over it. I'll remember.
But some people will miss the moment. They'll retreat and think 6 months or even a year is too long because they're not looking further out.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, bad trench. Come on, we're gonna swim over this thing.
Whoa, partner. Little red flag going up. Something's telling me we should swim through it, not over it.
Because if they had been looking further out, they'd see that a year of struggle is so small in comparison to a lifetime of peace and joy.
I'm sorry, but I really, really, really think we should swim through.
And I'm really, really done talking about this. Over we go.
Come on, trust me on this.
And actually, while on the subject, this makes me think of Joseph, who spent 13 years in captivity, but at the age of 30, he came upon our God of suddenly, and everything shifted. He was promoted, became the second most powerful man in the world, got married, had 2 sons, upgraded his entire family, like his dad, his mom's, siblings, and he saved the world from starvation. And he lived for 80 more years. He became a centenarian. Like, amazing, right? So this is why I lean into my seasons, even the tough ones. But again, it only happened because I had the awareness. I had a better vantage point. And one more thing having a better awareness has helped me with is to move with better intention, to set boundaries so that I make moves based on how things will affect me long term. Even small, minor things. So like one sort of small thing that made a big difference was that I stopped going to everyone's events, which I am not referring to people like that like my family or close friends or things like that. I'm talking about something else. So I grew up in a very Liberian community, and if there is one thing we are never lacking in, is a function with good food and music. But I don't need to be at all of them, which people can. Like, we tend to have an everyone is invited sort of stance on most of our events, and the food never runs out. Like, it's amazing, but it's not for me. Also, I know you might be thinking, well, Lavon, shouldn't you do the opposite, having looked a decade out to see that you have more time? And that makes sense, but time is not what I was concerned about here. At least not quantity, it was quality. You see, looking toward 50 has had me aware that not just my time is valuable, so is my energy. I realize that everyone doesn't need that type of access to me all of the time. And it's nothing personal. I'm a people person. I like to help people. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. And I like to volunteer and socialize, but I'm not a social light. I don't need to see and be seen everywhere in these streets, because that energy, like even just attending some casual events when I have the free time, is energy that is taken away when I need to create. It's energy I can use to focus on loved ones and on people who matter most to me. Because on the flip side, that awareness in looking a decade out, I can also assess how I should respond when like a family member suddenly comes into town. Even if it's going to like mess up my schedule for the day, because I'm looking further out and thinking, when last have I seen this person, and when will I most likely see them again? I can understand why I need to make the necessary adjustments to take that 45-minute or even 90-minute drive to go see them. So yeah, it's great having this awareness. Like, it's so amazing to be able to move better, so I know when to speed up or slow down, or I know what season I am in, or what things are important to show up to. Like, I just love it. I feel like a whole new woman who is taking charge of her life and not just letting life pass me by. You know, actually, thinking about not letting things pass me by has me thinking about something else. So I'm gonna share one more new perspective that I got from looking at 50 while still in my 30s, which is how I see time.
Like clockwork.
So when it comes to time, I'm not letting time just pass me by or do its thing. I'm watching it while it's watching me. Like, you see me, I see you. Like, we see each other. We see each other. We see each other. Like, we see each other. We see each other. Like, okay, so you all might be wondering, Lavon, your channel is very different from like anyone, because it's not like a typical success channel, and it's not like a typical Christian channel. And to that I say, yes, I am aware.
I am aware.
I'm aware. And that's all I have for that response, because that is just me being me. And you know what? Maybe something new and different is what's needed for you. Maybe something new is what will help you to actually reach where God has called you to be, because you need to get there. Like, stop wasting time. You know enough, start the business. You know enough, go up for that promotion. You know enough, start that community Bible study group. It's time. Like, it is time. I'm thinking of like Wakanda. It is time. Like, but it's time. It's time. Like, just start it. Oh my goodness. So what I mean by how watching time is helping me to grow better is that by me watching it, I can see others besides myself at 50. I consider the age of what everyone else around me will be.
You and I don't spend enough time together, do we?
We spend enough time together.
We do?
It's quality time.
I think about my parents, my long distance friends, those who live close, cousins who live far or near, my siblings, nieces and nephews. Thinking about time in this way makes me reconsider if I should really skip that trip or family gathering. It helps me to see how I can best show up for my loved ones over the course of the next years and not just the present moment. I consider monumental dates and moments that might be coming up, which means that I don't just say, we should get together soon or like meet up soon. I set actual dates on the calendar to spend time with the people I love. Also, watching time, it helps me to build better and create with more intention as I consider new technology and what is coming next, economically, politically, and spiritually even. And another thing about me watching time, which is probably the most important, is that it has helped me to bet on Levon. Yeah, that part. Looking a year out or 6 months out, I might hesitate. But looking at 50, or if you're in your 20s, looking at 40, you're always going to have the wisdom to bet on yourself. And what I mean by betting on myself is that I am all in on the things that God has called me to do. And when I say called, I mean words spoken from heaven about me and you, because your calling, it's not just your purpose. It is a spoken word from God. And this is what Jesus says about the word of God. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. And scripture also says, my word that goes out from my mouth, it will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. And so this means if you know that God spoke a word over you, if you know in your heart that God gave you that idea, then why not bet on yourself? You have the winning hand. My hope in you watching this is that, one, hopefully you got to learn a bit more about me from a different lens. But more importantly, I hope that you can now zoom out, look throughout the decade and maybe a few more decades so you can see why you should do the same and bet on you. So you can finally get serious about the things God is speaking to you about, and only you, because He wants you to reach your dreams, not someone else's. Also, for me, it's stepping into 40 and looking at 50, which I am so excited about now and have zero angst and zero worries to step out of the wilderness chapter and cross over into my promised land year. But for you, whatever decade you are approaching and whichever decade lies 10 years ahead, just know that as you enter that new decade, you are already equipped to win in it. When I entered my 20s and 30s, I thought it was something I had to figure out, like it was some Rubik's Cube, but it's not. When you enter a new decade, you take all of the lessons you have learned with you. The lessons you learned about setting boundaries, being on time, having faith, praying until something happens, improving your health, showing up for loved ones, helping others, seeking justice, working toward your goals, and finding adventure. You take all of those things, enter through that door of your new decade, and then you walk tall with your head high like you own the room, because you do. So you take up space and then you keep going, looking forward and looking ahead to the next season, knowing it is a privilege to age and you've been blessed with the opportunity to turn the page. So keep going, girl, because I know if you do, God most certainly will get you from where you are now to where He's called you to be. God bless.
Sophie, you look great.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
But I'm 50.
You look great.
Inside, I'm 50.